Right, welcome to my review of The Hunt. I'm going to talk non-spoilers, then I will give you a bit of a spoiler warning, and then we'll talk spoilers. But that being said, let's get into it. Is this a good movie or is this a bad movie? We know that this has had a massive delay. It was initially postponed indefinitely, rumoured to never see the light of day. Does it live up to the hype? Does it live up to the controversy surrounding it? Well, no. No, it doesn't. And in actuality, it really didn't deserve any of the controversy surrounding the movie. It's not... The first trailer is not what this film is, at all. And there is no way that they would have reshot parts to make it seem more satirical or tongue-in-cheek, basically. It's a comedy. Now, a lot of it is kind of geographical comedy. I mean, it's obviously about the United States, but it's also universal because these people exist everywhere. Now, just to break it down really simplistically, because again, the trailers have not done a very good job at marketing this film. You have this is Bessie Gilpin, who does fantastic in this film, and she plays what is known as a deplorable in the movie. Now, that's not phrased as something which we're supposed to enjoy them being called. Okay, so before everyone gets their knickers in a twist, because again, this movie, I'm going to cop a lot of flack for talking about this movie, regardless, because there's a lot of people that go, I believe in free speech, but we can't make jokes like this. Fuck off, you don't believe in free speech then, get out of here. This whole movie is quite literally a satirical stab at liberal elites and average Joes, right? It's not a stab at the individual people, but it's a stab at the culture between the two people, or the perceived culture. So it's really important, and it is actually funny. So it is very much a satirical stab. They did not reshoot this. They didn't, because to reshoot this, you would have had to have rewritten an entire story to make this an actual satirical joke. So basically, bunch of people, the deplorables, wake up in a field with some guns, and they've heard rumours of the hunt at Manor-gate, and lo and behold, they find themselves in it, right? And you might go, oh wow, okay, well that sounds horrible. Obviously these are liberal elites shooting the deplorables and hunting the deplorables, right? And again, it sounds a lot worse than it is, but stay until the spoilers and you'll realise it's really not that. In fact, it's quite comical how they round it out for why the entire thing occurred, basically. Now, Betty Gilpin is fantastic. I've not watched Glow. She's supposedly in Glow, which is on Netflix, like some wrestling thing. She's really good in this, and having not seen her in anything else, I don't know whether she's acting or whether she's emoting and kind of pulling faces and things like that, or whether it's just her face. But she does a really good job at being this. I think she's supposed to be from Mississippi, right? She does a really good job at being from Mississippi and being just a normal person, basically. And so does everyone else. And there is some genuine comedy moments in this. But basically, the short of it is, deplorables get hunted by the liberal elites. Who wins? Don't know. You'll have to go and watch it. That's the story. There's not really too much of a story that I can get into without any major spoilers. But in terms of the way it's shot, colours all look nice and crisp. Again, for a movie with a relative sized budget, which I don't know the amount of budget this film had. But yeah, I expect it to look good. There's no reason why this film shouldn't look good, basically. So the colours are nice and crisp. The cinematography was really quite good. There's actually a lot of action in this film, which is well shot and well choreographed. And there's some really good framing of the action scenes. So there's a scene towards the end where we see, and again, this is all based in comedy, right? So we've got to keep this going. It is actually comedy. It's on IMDb as an action horror thriller. It should not be classified as an action horror thriller. It should be, well, I don't know, comedy action, I guess? Because it's not a horror. There's nothing scary about it. There's no greater grand conspiracy or anything like that. It's just an action comedy. But anyway, there's this fight towards the end And the selection of frames is really nice. So they're fighting outside, and as they pan round, the camera pans round, they go various windows, and they're doing various fight moves as they go along. It's nice, it's fluid, it just works. And the way people get killed off, good. It's really, really bloody. Like, it's a gory film, but it's not gratuitous, because again, it's actually played up for laughs, and it works nicely. Like, it's a 15 in the UK. We only get an 18 rating, generally speaking, if there's like sex and stuff like that in movies. There was obviously none of that. There's no TNA, sadly. But good 15. A lot of gore. Someone's eyeball gets pulled out at one point. Nice. Good. Nice to see, right? Nice to see this level of gore on the big screen every so often in a comedic fashion. Now, in terms of, you know, whether this lived up to the hype and why... Well, I don't understand having watched it, and you will as well. The problem is that this film actually has big shoes to fill for controversy's sake. It didn't deserve it. Didn't deserve it at all. Super dumb, actually. Having watched the film, everyone that's outraged about it, you all look really, really stupid. Genuinely. And I know I'm going to get a bunch of dislikes for that, but again... Calm your tits. You say you believe in free speech. Go and watch it. It didn't deserve any of the negativity that the movie's had. It's just a fun action comedy. And it's a satirical stab at a culture war, or a perceived culture war. It's funny. Now, the score is good. Cinematography is good. The locations are nice. And actually, this will sound very odd, but it matters. The gun props look real good. They look real good, actually. I know it's a weird thing to point out, but it stands out as something where it just looked ultra realistic. Much more so than any other film I've seen for a little while, actually. There's like a chrome handgun. I don't know anything about guns, but anyway, there's a chrome handgun, and it just looked weighty. It looked real, and it comes across on screen. It looked very good. Anyway, all rounds itself out quite nicely. Comes to a very good conclusion. It's worth a watch. It's an hour and a half long. I'd recommend it. Again, it's funny. It's not a horror. It's not a thriller. It's an action comedy. Go and watch it. Also, as well, in terms of the pacing, it gets bang right into it, and it's a little bit off in parts, the pacing, because it is a. It's not a character-driven piece, right? So it's just story-driven. It gets right into the action and it chugs along. But then it sort of loses itself a little bit and tries to become character-driven. And they were trying to tread a fine line, but it also halted the pace. And they shouldn't have really done that. And again, people who have seen it will probably agree with me. There's just a switch up midway through where it becomes a little bit too character-driven. Whereas up until that point, it's been heavy story-driven. So it's just been go. So yeah, but I would recommend it. Go watch it. Well worth the time. Good laugh as well. Now, let's get into spoilers. Here's your warning. That's my Mississippi. No, I can't do Mississippi. Mississippi? No. I'm not going to do that again. Right, anyway, so let's get into it. Right, so, again, just to outline how comedic it actually is. The only reason this entire thing happened is because a bunch of text messages leaked from the liberal elites, and they were joking about killing deplorables, normal people. A bunch of them got fired or they had to leave, so as a result of that, they thought, well, sod it. We're going to go kill them all now. They thought we were going to do it. They've ruined our lives, so we're going to kill them. So it's comedic because then at the end, there's a discussion where the liberal elite is so far up her own arse, she doesn't realise that what she's doing is, do you know what I mean? Is literally the reason why they got fired. So it's just this self-fulfilling prophecy sort of situation. And it's very funny because it goes to show just how, again, the perceivedness of these people, how stupid they actually are, that they believe that they can do that and it not actually have any ramifications because it makes sense. Go watch the movie, like it does actually make sense. Betty Gilpin survives till the end. There's some real bloody, gory scenes and stuff like that. She was great, standout. Hilary Swank is the big old, the evil doer at the end. She dies at the end, and that's it. I mean, there's not really anything else. Like a dude gets a grenade thrown down his pants and he blows up. Again, the way people die in this, awesome. Real good fun. There's a dude that looks like Ninja. I can't remember his name. I'm looking at the IMDb cast now. But anyway, I swear he's supposed to look like Ninja from... I can't even remember the name. South African rapper. Looks like a tit. But yeah, he's supposed to look like him. Ethan Suplee was in this movie. He was good as well. Good to see him back in stuff. A lot of people remember him from, I think it was in My Name is Earl. But good to see him back in stuff. He was really good. And Hilary Swank. It's good to see her back in stuff as well. So it was good movie. Harmless. No, it did not deserve the outrage. You all look like tits. You all look like utter morons. And the people that are like, oh, I love my freedom of speech, but we can't release this because reasons. The moment you go, I believe in freedom of speech, but you don't. All right, you don't. You don't. Calm down. You don't. Anyway, whatever. Go watch the movie. I had a good time. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought. As always, I've Missed H. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care.